Welcome to our latest video. Today we're putting Suzuki's DR800S Big under the spotlight, the legendary adventure bike with desert DNA. We'll show you what it's like to live with, where it shines, where it can get on your nerves, and whether it's still worth buying in 2025. Presented by Motorize, your go-to source for new and used parts. Stay tuned for practical tips, prices, and tech insights. From the oversized oil cooler to the twin-exit exhaust, buckle up. The Big isn't a lightweight, and that's exactly part of its charm, history, and evolution. In 1990, the DR750S became the DR800S Big, more displacement, 779cc, and a look shaped by the Paris-Dakar prototypes. Its signature beak was penned by Target Design. By 1991, a revised model range arrived with a larger 29-liter tank, upgraded suspension, and more refined ergonomics. Later models gained redesigned side panels and a plusher seat. With 21 17-inch spoked wheels and long travel suspension, the DR Big set the tone early in the adventure segment and cemented its reputation as a rugged, overland-ready workhorse. Technical highlights. At its heart sits an air and oil-cooled 779cc single with twin balance shafts and a 105x90mm bore and stroke. Two Mikuni CV carbs feed the motor. Output is around 54 horsepower with peak torque north of 60 Nm. 5-speed gearbox, chain final drive, and spoked wheels, 21 inches up front, 17 at the rear. Braking is via a single front disc and a rear disc, with a conventional telescopic fork offering generous travel. Depending on the year, the tank holds 24 to 29 liters, and seat height is around 885 millimeters. Signature touches: a twin-outlet silencer and a large oil cooler tucked into the metal belly pan. Design and ergonomics. The Big looks every bit like a rally prototype for the road. A tall beak, broad tank shrouds with pronounced knee cutouts, and a rectangular headlight tucked behind a slim fairing. A narrow waist makes it easy to stand off-road, and the 22mm steel tube handlebar gives plenty of leverage. The long, fairly firm seat lets you shift your weight on gravel, yet stays comfortably supportive on longer rides. Grippy passenger grab handles and sturdy tie-down points on the rear subframe make loading simple. Nice touches: clear, easy-to-read analog gauges with tach and trip meter, plus an easy-to-reach choke lever on the left bar. Handling and everyday practicality. On the road, the Big single delivers a healthy shove from low revs and, thanks to its balance shafts, runs more refined than its displacement suggests. Tall gearing calms highway stints, and the generous tank gives you 400+ kilometers between fuel stops. The 21-inch front wheel asks for a bit of extra input in tight corners, but rewards you with rock-solid tracking on rough surfaces. The single front disc needs a firm squeeze. Day-to-day, the upright riding position, commanding view, and surprisingly tight turning circle really shine. Practical touches. The high-mounted exhaust stays clear during water crossings, and the stout skid plate shrugs off rock strikes. Strengths and highlights. The Big DR wins you over with simple, wrench-friendly engineering and huge range. Its torquey single pulls hard from down low, while twin balancer shafts keep the vibes in check. Spoked wheels and a stout double cradle frame take luggage and rough tracks in stride. Ready for commute and continent, a stock skid plate, serrated steel pegs, and a tough chain guide. That iconic beak isn't just for show. It noticeably deflects wind off your chest, and the generous steering lock makes low-speed maneuvering surprisingly easy, despite the height. Weaknesses and typical issues. With higher mileage, the usual suspects show up. The timing chain and tensioner can rattle, and the starter sprag clutch may slip occasionally. Perished intake boots and torn carb diaphragms cause hard cold starts and surging at steady throttle. Electrically, the alternator connector and the regulator rectifier are prone to trouble. Check the charging voltage. The stock soft fork dives heavily, and the fork seals can start leaking quickly if dirt gets in. The single front disc brakes well enough, but benefits from a fade-resistant upgrade when you're loaded with luggage. Also, look for sloppy cush drive rubbers, worn linkage bearings, and loose spokes after hard off-road use. None of it unusual, and all of it straightforward to inspect and fix. Accessories and customization options. The Big is a joy to upgrade. Progressive rate fork springs and a quality shock, Wilbur's for example, really sharpen up the chassis. A larger front disc with a braided steel line gives the brakes more bite. For touring, sturdy Hepco and Becker pannier racks, wide foot pegs, a tall skid plate, and a small windscreen. The engine rewards properly synchronized carbs, a fresh air filter, and, if you want finer tuning, a jet kit. Street-legal mufflers shave weight. Specialist Hessler offers a rally tower, GPS mounts, wider tank guards, and a flatter desert seat, all designed to mix and match for everyday use. Market value and buying criteria. Solid examples usually trade between €3,000 and €6,500. Late bikes from the revised generation fetch the highest prices. Originality matters. Intact fairing panels, unmodified carburetors, the stock twin exhaust, and a complete tool roll all add value. During inspection, start it both cold and hot and pay attention to its cold running. Feel for play in the rear sprocket carrier cush drive and check spoke tension. Measure charging voltage and make sure the fuel tap diaphragm isn't leaking. Check the suspension linkage for play and inspect the fork stanchions for pitting. A documented valve clearance service and fresh oil of the correct grade are clear plus points. Verdict and buying advice. Looking for an honest adventure bike with character? The DR800S Big is a bullseye. Tough, long-distance capable, and with a soundtrack all its own. It asks for a bit of height and experience, but rewards you with rock-solid stability and an engine that will carry you anywhere. With fresh suspension and the ancillaries sorted, it's a faithful companion on both tarmac and gravel. Recommendation? Go for a well-kept late model with documented electrical and carb work. Invest in new springs, steel-braided brake lines, and quality tires, and the Big will stay brilliant for years.